Sure.
Yeah, so, well, as we look into game number 2, I would expect to see AFK, as we said, on the red side.
Oh, God,
but we'll see, Scott, as we go into the P's and B's.
My man. My man.
Indeed they are, yeah.
That's your favorite thing.
I love it.
You love it. Bologna gets first banned here, which means Team Solomid, they're looking for possibly one of the supports. We could see that, but they also have to worry about target bans. Now, Bologna is also a target ban directly at Weekend. They experienced it once at the Spring Finals. They do not want to go against the Bologna jungle. And AFK bans out Cirquet. So unless Team Solomid bans... Oh, and they go with that. So that means Athena, Sylvanus, Hunbats, one of them will be... Two of them will be available, which is going to be very scary.
Yeah, Athena likely to be first picked here by TSM.
Or
they don't want to get to
Sylvanus?
AFK because we saw... No, I think they'll take the Athena because AFK, they're liable to run the Athena mid lane, as you recall, for Kiki.
Hell, they can run it anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So...
Oh, no.
Athena?
Oh, no.
Athena and Sylvanus maybe from AFK if they want it.
It's gotta be that. That's the dream for them. Athena locked in. Sylvanus should be the next one. And yeah, okay.
Yeah, they'll take it.
So already, if you guys are wondering why we're freaking out, is because Athena, Sylvanus, they are the two strongest supports by far. But Athena, you can do anything with her. You can bring her in the jungle, solo, mid, and she just sets up so much. It's basically you draft Athena, and if it's not a support, it's an anti-fight anywhere.
TSM, well, they're going to respond with, they'll take their Geb again. Make sure, it had to be a Guardian in this first drafting phase. They couldn't get counterbanned. And now what? The second Hunter, maybe? You take the Rom here away from Allied, force them into... no, they'll take... Okay, so they're just really comping straight back up. They're going to try to force out maybe a Hades ban here from AFK, just like threaten that they're going to draft the exact same thing, make them ban it.
But they do have the counterplay here, though. Bakasura is actually on as well, but I don't think AFK is going to grab that just because they don't want Divios to actually get the counterplay here, and Xbalanque will get locked in, and this is a perfect god for this scenario. I mean, Xbalanque loves the late game, and he's a ticking time bomb, right? That's what we know about him, so you give him two forms of peel, and not just any peel, the best peel.
Yeah, and with the two Guardians, they'll be very powerful. AFK, they will ban out a second Hunter here. TSM, I doubt they're going to target the solo lane. There's just too many gods of Cyclone Spin plays. Maybe another ban out from Kiki.
Maybe Baka. They might just get rid of Baka.
They could. Yeah, you're right. They'll take it.
I would be fine with the Baka. I mean, Cyclone's by far the best Baka player in the world.
Yeah, I'm not contesting that.
Osiris? Wow. Oh, this might be Osiris jungle.
No.
Weekend loves those tanky junglers, man.
But that means Cyclospin's playing the Athena. And it just seems like it's more likely that he's playing the Osiris.
Well, there's no mid. There's no mid yet.
Okay, true.
That's the part that sucks about casting AFK games. Is that you're like, well, you know.
The god selections.
Yeah, god selection.
Hercules.
That's just a comfort pick for Divios. He didn't know what he's going up against, so he's just saying, okay, Herc.
So probably the dual laner here from TSM is what we would expect. Or a mid. I guess they could still draft the mage. And it will be Poseidon. Yeah, they'll take the burst damage. They didn't have any magical cores yet, so they'll take him in the mid lane. And that leaves AFK needing, some lockdown. A little bit of lockdown, something to follow up the Athena Sylvanus, some mage. Okay, yeah, that'll do it. But the damage doesn't come online until really, really late. She does have decent follow-up and some good sustain. And the Lotus Crown options with this team are really good. They have very powerful front line. But it puts a lot on the back of Xbalanque Osiris.
I think this is a Chang'e mid.
It's a Chang'e mid for sure. You're right.
Yeah, this is a Chang'e mid. Osiris solo, Athena jungle, Sylvanus support.
And perhaps it's the Chang'e mid. She can moonlight dance away from old Poseidon in those Krakens as long as she's not crippled.
The best thing is that the Nemesis ultimate is guaranteed to steal a bajillion protections. Right. from someone, right? Which will help him out. And Cyclone will be running... Okay. Cyclone will be running the Osiris Weekend in the jungle on Athena, Kiki, ever so cheeky, Chang'e in the mid, Sylvanus on Incon, Allied on Xbalanque. On the TSM side of things here, Divios will be bringing Hercules, Dagars on Nemesis, Boosh, Poseidon, Ionic again on Geb, and then Snoopy with the Neith. So... the early game phase, it'll be pretty balanced. Neith has amazing clear, but so does Sylvanus and Xbalanque.
Okay, it's Soulstone Chang'e. So super aggressive is going to be Kiki's play. Every 5 in-hands, his next ability cast will do bonus damage. That's what that item does. So But it doesn't give you any HP, where the Vampiric Shroud on the other side that Poseidon has does give him a bonus 100 HP plus HP regen. So
can the wave clear of Chang'e actually compete with Whirlpool, though?
With this Soul Stone, I mean, that's what the item does. That's what it is intended to do. And that's, I think, why he's purchased it. So
that's very, very scary.
I mean, we really only ever see this item on Agni, who has to in-hand the wave anyway for his passive. So we'll see what Chang'e can do. But if you've played Chang'e, much like Hades, you do spend quite a bit of time in-handing for whatever reason on that god. So
it just looks cool.
Yeah,
it's the effects.
They
look
dancing.
So big that you feel like you can't miss them, just like Hades. Like the basic attacks are
Big,
so
chunky
huge.
in-hands.
Yeah. They're actually going to start on the back
greedy.
camps as well.
Extra greedy is AFK.
Well, they do have... Do they have double hand? Yeah, they do.
So this time TSM, they started their blue buff, right? Not wanting to get that stolen away from Divios again. And then they're going to go back for their orange. And AFK, I think they kind of... I think they scouted that out. And they said, well, we'll just take the ultra greedy start.
Yeah.
And now, so will TSM. They'll go back for their back camps as well.
Which, this is
Wow.
very, very unusual. And Gar's actually saying, okay, it's all you. I'm going to go mid-mid. And so is Weaken. I mean, that's a sub 40-second rotation started up.
Yeah, all of a sudden, mid lane going to be the early duo lane over the solo lane there with that start.
Oof.
But both teams elect to do it at the same time.
Weaken now just getting bodied out by Gars. This Nemesis, we always say they're weak early on, but Gars is just showing how much he can really...
So the god is not weak early on. The god is actually excellent early on. It's the fact that the ultimate doesn't allow for much, and she doesn't have like a knock-up or any kind of CC
exactly.
for that mid-camp fight. But in terms of kind of
damage.
Raw output, it's pretty good. I mean, Slice and Dice is a pretty nice ability at level 2 and 3. And her ability to get 3-4 in-hands in with the repositioning out of the dash is quite good as well. And that ultimate allows for kills on single targets, especially with something like Poseidon burst. Pretty easy.
My problem with the Chang'e, though, is that there's no blue buff, right? I mean, she spams out these abilities so much that she's going to be running out of mana with Vamp Shroud not helping her out at all.
Just send the bunny back for mana pots.
Oh, come on. that poor bunny, man. And she actually went mixed pots as well off the beginning. So, Cyclone Spin, it's very rare that we see him on a warrior.
Okay, that's what he's gone for. He sent the bunny back for a Vamp Shroud. Double starter.
Look.
It's been a while since we've seen one of them.
Yeah. Driving Strike's going to get Divios moving as Cyclone Spin is still just going to harass him. Luckily, Divios does have mitigate wounds, so he can just press 3 and heal himself up from all the harass that Cyclone Spin will be thrown down. And the jungler's still just kind of lingering around the mid lane, both of them, just leeching onto this experience.
Yeah, they'll just sit here till level 5 for the mid camps. No problem.
Yeah. They don't have any reason not to. I mean, this is a little bit safer. Normally, we see them kind of just push up and try to take the back camps from the other guys, but they start off so different.
An interesting thing, right? Because of the way that they started, Nemesis is going to be the one that's level 5, not the Poseidon here at the mid camp. She's boost sitting at level 4, and that's not really great for him. But in the same respect, so is Kiki sitting at level 4. No ultimate's going to be really available in this engagement outside of what Gars has. So it's going to be the camp split, it looks like. Neither team willing to engage with their mid laners not at level 5. Kiki will hit it, as will Poseidon, as they do go down here at the 3-minute mark.
And they took a very interesting route here. The Geb will be there for the help, and now look at that. Waxing Moon's going to follow up. Kraken hits as well. Boosh, his health is dropping. He's got the Geb shield on him. Kiki's able to draw first blood as Gars answers back. Athena comes crashing down, but it didn't really do much. As Waxing Moon again.
The Cataclysm was good. It kept Incon in place for the Kraken coming out of Poseidon. They're able to get that kill, but not before they lose one of their own. So, well, as you mentioned, first blood for AFK, that gives them the small advantage early on here. And it's good news for Kiki as well, I think. That extra gold from...
What?
Exactly. This is going to be massively greedy.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean,
That looks like... I mean, it's going to be a book of... maybe a Book of Thoth going to come out from him.
That's the only thing it can... Well, not can be, but... I don't see Soul Reaver. Well, I mean Hercules, but there's no reason to have that right now.
Certainly not, no.
No, it's got to be a Book of Thoth, but then you just build the boots, like...
Yeah, he'll take the boots and then maybe reach back for that after picking up another item. Just going to take the little bit of stats out of that with the Soul Trap, I believe it's called.
Yeah. Soul Reliquary. Soul Trap's the second
Soul
one.
Reliquary, that is the first rank.
I can't say that word. Soul R.
The Soul R.
I'm the worst. Boosh now will be able to help him out with the blue buff here as he will then rotate over. and take the speed buff question? No, they're going to leave it.
Yeah,
and they're just going to drop the blue buff for Divios as he heads back into lane. He'll lose about 2 creeps to the tower, but he's not worried about it. TSM, it's tied at 1 apiece here, going on 5 minutes. Really, it's going to all be all in on these 6-minute mid camps, I think, Bart.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to have all the ultimates available. That Kraken's going to be back. Chang'e will have her ultimate moving into this one as well. So I guess it comes down again a little bit to how good is the initiation from Geb. Divios in a bit of trouble here. Cyclone's been, more than a little bit. We can continue to put the in-hands in. Lord of the Afterlife is dodged out by Divios, but now he will get taken out. Xbalanque ultimate to help secure that one as well, and allied. Well, he's perfectly happy to toss that one in and get himself an extra assist.
Yeah. He's just trying to pad his stats at this point. He wants to. He just
a bonus gold.
Yeah, and it also feels good. You're like, oh yeah, I contributed. I'm the reason we got this. Yeah, it's cool.
What are you guys talking about? I got 2 assists.
Yeah.
So and shout outs to me, TSM winning game 1. I got AFK winning game 2. So I got the 50-50.
I think I did the same.
It's going my way.
I'm afraid though, because if I look at the client and I see my season ticket, I might have done AFK first, which means my 50-50 really just sucks.
Yeah.
Which is why it's better to just bet on one team.
That's right.
It really is. That's what I don't know.
Are you having a renaissance in your picking strategy?
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna never be the 50-50 guy now.
They grow up so fast.
I crunched the numbers, Bart. Okay.
6-minute camps on their way. TSM, Ionic, and Gars are here. Boosh as well, but it's pulled. But here comes the Ionic initiation. The ultimate Incon will be erased by this one. Who knows who got the mid camps there, but who cares really, as Sylvanus gets erased. And Cyclospin will take the right side cleanly for AFK. They get a little bit back. But
which is why Poseidon loves having a Nemesis on his team.
Absolutely.
Poseidon wants to just pick a god and blow him up. And Divine Judgment helps with that every step of the way.
Divia's going to throw out the ultimate there to gain back a little bit of lane control, as Cyclone Spin had a full wave pushed up there on him. Boosh, Ionic, Gars all kind of floating around the mid lane here.
It's
warding up, looking for opportunities. And that Gold Fury's got to be what they're thinking soon. Snoopy here, he's very, very far pushed up. And it looks like Weekend is able to close the distance there, and down he'll go. So another return kill for AFK Gaming. It's been a bloody early game here. 6 kills in 7 minutes. 5 kills in 7 minutes. There'll be another kill, damn it.
Cyclone Spin will get ready to probably dive Divios. Poor Divios, man. He went from being this feared solo lane 15-year-old to another 15-year-old coming in and trying to steal a snack pack.
Yeah, Cyclone Spin. I think Cyclone Spin's a little bit his senior. Cyclone Spin 16, 17 maybe.
I thought he was 15.
But he's old enough to go to war.
Okay.
In Smite, I guess.
All right. I like
he's
it.
A warrior.
I'm with it.
He's a warrior.
Yeah. As now, we'll see a little bit of a slap battle here. Mitigate wounds will help him kind of get up a bit, but is this going to be an Ichavolt coming out for the Osiris?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've ever seen kind of that build. Normally it's rune forged and
I would expect
tanky-ish.
He's got bully the lane away from the Hercules. Mystical Mail is done. The Ichavolt doesn't help out too much there though. Against that Mystical Mail, it's not going to be so great. Divio's just going to recall in the lane. That's a bait as Gars is standing by.
Yeah.
Nemesis operational.
Gars chilling.
Divios does have his ultimate, and the burst would be pretty substantial with the two of their ultimates combined, but it looks like we will not see that engagement as the blue buff will be the target for Nemesis and Hercules.
Right into the shoes of the Magi here for Poseidon. The Boosh really has, one main build, which is why I was really shocked when he played Giannis the other day. Stealth and Boosh kind of run the same builds, but when Stealth ran Giannis, I was expecting, Warlock Sash. Not the case. So we're starting to see a little bit of deviation, but Boosh, he likes all power.
Yeah, he's a big playmaker.
Yeah.
Athena, she's going to go for the ancient Athena build here. The build is as old as the Athena jungle strategy. Cooldown boots into the Void Stone. She may leave it actually at this rank 2 Void Stone.
For a bit.
For a little bit here. Could build into a different third item. But that would maybe something like a Winged Blade would be my guess if he does indeed abandon that Void Stone at rank 2.
There's a lot of sharing camps from the TSM side. I mean, we're seeing 3 people rotate to each step of the camp. No matter the equation. And even Poseidon rotated over to help drop the blue buff here. And mid Harpies are coming up. Kiki's going to be in a spot. And he's just really going to try to bait this one out. Snoopy now waiting. Incon's going to get knocked up here. He's going to throw Geb up as well. Here comes Cyclone Spin. He's here for the rotation. Cataclysm is going to hit Waxing Moon as well. Ionic's going to be able to roll out of this one, though, as he will recall under the tower. Pushing forward is Divios. Divios has knocked himself up in Incon. And here comes the Athena to try to turn things around. They need the taunt. The pull hits as well. Divios now in a lot of trouble. Lord of the Afterlife will hit, and they have yet to come. Finally, they do. Gars is next on the list, though, as they are just going to continue to surge forward. Their miss is the slow. But, wow, they weren't actually able to get that either. That's only one kill.
What basically happens there is that Divios trades his life to keep Ionic alive. And Snoopy, yeah, you're not getting Cyclone Spin off you. You'll go down as well. So it turns out being actually a really big engagement for AFK Gaming there. They should have, after this Gold Fury here, the first real advantage of the game. Hercules, not enough with that Mystical Mail. The Chang'e actually did a lot there. That ultimate stunned Ionic out for a long time. They were forced to really collapse to cover his retreat, and they didn't have much to resurge as AFK Gaming came forward and were able to find the pick and turn it into a couple of kills and a Gold Fury their way. Taking a look at the graphs real quick, we'll see that they have built themselves up the first advantage of the game, 2,300 experience in gold, to the credit of the team in red, AFK Gaming.
Yep. Now, Chang'e actually going into the CDR boots here. She's going to start up on the Soul Trap as well, which next it will be the Book of Thoth. No questions asked on that. But, you know, the CDR on Chang'e just gets so many more of her abilities out there, which increases her movement speed, which makes her very hard to lock down in these team fights.
So it looks like Athena, she's going to be going into the Breastplate of Valor. So giving up some damage for the extra CDR, more taunts, and a lot of mana, some physical protection as well. And she'll get the Weakening Curse eventually here. So they're really looking to shut down the Divios healing potential, as well as the eventual, well, not eventual, but the Osiis from Neith, as well as a Divine Ruin early from the Poseidon. So with a lot of Life Steal and a core healer in Hercules, they're going to have a lot of anti-heal on top of the Osiris to help control this. And AFK itemizing very, very well to really continue snowballing with this early advantage in the mid-game with some of these items. So it's looking good for them.
Yep. Boosh is yet to find a kill. His Krakens have been on point, but as you stated, the Divine Ruin has been forced out on him. Divios now is just going to get dove, and he's going to be taken out again. 0-3.
Ionic may blink forward for this, yeah. With the Neith ultimate as well. No way Weaken gets in line, but
he's actually in trouble too.
He's looking to get his dash. 1 more second for his dash. He has it now. Kraken on the mark, catches him a little bit, but Kiki does get credit for the kill on the Boosh. Weaken not going to go down just yet. Gars will get it with the Slice and Dice. Getting CC'd through by Incon, but the dashes were up. It's just Ionic. And with Chang'e and Sylvanus, neither of them having really very reliable crowd control, Ionic rolls away to freedom.
Yep. And now Incon will have no problem just sitting in lane. The one thing you're noticing here is that the basic attacks from Sylvanus no longer provide knockback to the creeps, so he can't stack up the wave anymore. So it's a slight nerf, but his kit is still really, really strong.
Yes, it is very good.
Which is what his purpose is.
And he's gone for the first item, the Winged Blade as his first item here. So forgoing the boots altogether. And you can see that he's about 500 net worth behind the Geb, in fact, for Ionic, so it's a sovereignty that he's down. It doesn't really seem to be worth it, at least to this point in the game, to just have that Wing Blade. But can we take a look at the Golden Hand as Sylvanus goes back? Yeah, he actually had quite a bit there as he builds the Steel Mail. So
yeah.
He'll have that sovereignty sooner rather than later.
Yeah, he had about 1,500 in his pocket. He also picked up 1 ward there, but no Sentry Ward. Boosh actually having a Sentry Ward in his pocket, as well as Ionic. So Vision Battle should be in favor of TSM here. Once they hit tab and they figure out exactly what is in the tackle box of AFK, they should be okay.
Yeah, but the second Gold Fury won't be coming up for a couple of minutes, so...
Yeah, that's true. 2 minutes.
Will they, be able to maintain vision advantage? You can see there is a lot of warding right now from AFK on the left side of the map, but they are just regular wards, so perhaps TSM can wrestle that back. But there's also 4 members over here on the left side currently from AFK, as Neith is going to try to back. Looks like Athena's not going to be in time to stop that one.
Are they starting? Okay, they're not. Okay, good. I was like, are they really
No, they really want to kill Osiris, though. And they did actually pull it. The Mystical Mail pulled Fire Giant. And now Cyclone Spin's going to come check it out, and he's going to run into the rest of the team. Divios really needed to hit that pick. You could see they were waiting for the alley-oop. Boosh was there, as was Gars.
Yep. Mid Harpy's right side, though. TSM will acquire.
Up.
Yeah. They waste no time on that, as AFK, normally they are all speed ahead kind of team, not a let's calculate, kind of wait for it, which is kind of where they were in Season 1, which AFK was really good versus teams who made big mistakes, but not minor ones, and now they're a team who is able to kind of come out on top, even if you make those minor mistakes, just because they're all systems go. Blink Cataclysm comes in. Oh my god.
And yeah, actually, Incon tried to close the distance there and help weaken out, but he gets blown up by the Kraken as well. Kiki took a decent amount of damage here. Boosh, he doesn't have another spell available. He's going to need one more in-hand, and yes, he will get it in addition to the Whirlpool. And Gars, he's sitting underneath the tower. Kiki can't do much damage to him. Ionic, the knockup should be enough to get this one in hand. Dodged.
No
Kiki,
way.
please, still alive. Down he goes, but Allied on the rotation. He'll find at least one here and starting to go toe-to-toe with Snoopy, who's popping his beads, doing whatever he can to stay alive. But down he will fall as well with that Carnival Neith.
Yep, and Allied now. He's got Divios there. The tether is on cooldown, though. And they actually were not able to find Gars, who is really, really low. Ionic's going to go ahead and back, and they have the timer on the Gold Fury, I believe, so 15 seconds is what they're going to wait on, but that's enough time to let TSM kind of get back into this.
Yeah, that fight just took too long for TSM. They pursued it a little bit too long underneath the tower. That extra time bought by Kiki on the Chang'e was enough for Allied to rotate in and get himself a couple of very important kills onto the Xbalanque, getting the bonus power per kill. It's a big deal for him. Every kill that he gets, we heard Allied talk about it a little bit at the spring finals. It's just kind of a confidence boost, and now with that bonus 10 damage, he's on his way.
And everything is getting dumped into this.
They're trying
right
to take
here.
it as fast as possible.
Divios is on the backside. Driving Strike's going to hit forward. Boulder's going to hit him as well. AFK was able to lock it down. Incon now has Athena jump in. They're just going to give up on this fight. They have what they want. They don't want to have this fight, as they really just want to keep their lead. They don't want to fight right now. Kiki, Slice and Dice well hit. He's going to burn his movement as well. And now Cataclysms will follow up. Beads already comes out. Waxing Moon as well. The heal will come down on Cyclone Spin. And another perfect Kraken. Definitely not Xing playing that Poseidon.
Yeah.
You saw that, right?
I did, yeah. And that was, I mean, in the Xbalanque Ultimate to throw out that Kraken boost just with the presence of mind and the experience really to know where Kiki was going to be. He does get something out of nothing there. But AFK still controls this one pretty well, and they get away with that Gold Fury. They did give up a kill on the pursuit, but they're okay with that. It's a good trade. They're Screaming Worth all the way to the base. Snoopy now has his hands full with Allied. You can see just how much those branching bowlers are doing.
Yeah. And it's also guaranteed damage for the branching bolas as we can go ahead and comes back in. But the one thing that's important to note here is that Poseidon, who loves to get, Spear the Magus early on with Trident, just because it procs on every single one, when you have a Nemesis and it steals the protections, you really can delay that a bit, which is why we're seeing this Divine Judgment.
Yeah, that is going to give him a little bit of cost-efficient damage. Weekend looking for the kill with Allied into that duo lane, but Snoopy, he falls away. AFK hasn't built a very big lead, though.
They haven't.
Even with a couple of fights they've won and the couple of objectives they've taken, the lead it seems still in jeopardy all the time, as we see TSM. And they always just threaten to kind of pull this one back. It's a very stair-step style of graph, and usually that's TSM. They're getting... they're trading back and forth, and it seems like this one may come down to who gets the right trade at the right time and is able to take the Fire Giant in a lot of structures.
Well, AFK has been doing this hyper-protect kind of team composition no matter what, right? Like, we saw Eager, who's also their scrim partners, and they just go, like, tanky gods with a lot of peel. And AFK is like, okay, let's just do hyper-protection with people with multiple amounts of CC. So that's why you're seeing the Chang'e mixed in with everything else. But the problem that we're seeing here is that the Boosh is doing infinitely more in these team fights with the Kraken just being able to pick away one than the Chang'e is ever going to be able to do.
Yeah, but Chang'e's ready to party now. Soul Reaver is done. So it was not the Book of Thoth. It will be the steroid damage item here for Chang'e. So this item does percentage damage every so often, about every minute. So every time you hit with a spell, every minute, you'll do bonus damage, 15% HP damage to the target. So it'll be very good against Cyclone Spin, Incon, weaken the high HP targets on the map. Chang'e will have a little bit more burst damage to her name.
Yeah. And Hercules, who's already 0-3, who probably feels a little bit tankier than he really is, now has to be very, very careful with Chang'e.
Yeah. Obviously, I was reading out the tanky characters on the side of AFK.
Yeah, I was sweeping. I swept that under the rug, bro, instantly. I got your back, baby girl.
But yeah. So it's Divios and Ionic that have to look out for that percentage damage now. But it does delay Chang'e's kind of utility at all. Yep. The Lotus Crown, right? You got to think it's got to come out at some point to really augment those heals and make her a little bit more of a utility character. But looking to be a damage core. What
is Weekend looking for right now? I mean, Weekend and Incon all swing over into the solo lane side of things, really just to do something thing. Maybe they were just kind of catering one another, but I mean, with all this leeching experience, I mean, Kiki, he's level 15. He's a level behind the Poseidon here, but he does have more gold. Just because of the gold fear, right? That's kind of how it is. But player damage, as you're taking a look, Osiris, 9100, Xbalanque, 86, followed by the Poseidon. Now, Osiris, most of his damage is just slap fighting Hercules, right? But
sure, I mean, but Hercules has a mystical mail. So you would expect the Hercules to be...
Oh my god, I didn't realize how far he was.
At parity, more or less, with the Osiris. But Cyclone's been put out 4,000 more damage through just in-hands than what the mystical mail is ticking away at. So actually, it's a pretty impressive performance so far from Cyclone Spin.
Yeah. Oh god, he gets pulled. Bede's already forced out. Kiki now sees the Darkest Nights as there's going to be no follow-up there. Athena comes crashing down here. Lord of the Afterlife is going to be there as well. Devios has overstayed his welcome once again. He will live for a bit as this full team is going to rotate. They see the ping on the map and they go, okay, yeah, nope, don't want to fight Gars and Ionic, but Blink Cataclysm comes in. Divine Judgment as well. Incon, the Wisps are going to help him out a bunch, and now Boosh is finally here for the fight.
Yeah, they want to try to pick Incon before this Gold Fury fight, but they're not going to find him. And Kiki using that Heavenly Agility, a really great time to dodge the Kraken. Devios is here as well. He'll find the pull on the 2, but now he's fighting the entire team, and he's just not that tanky. Down he will go, so Devios loses his life again on the retreat for the second time this game in a similar situation as well. And now AFK, they have the one-man advantage going into the third Gold Fury that's back up.
Yeah, they're winning the fights when it matters.
Yeah, they are.
Team Solomid's getting the picks, which is great, right? I mean, it's keeping them in the game and it's stopping this lead from growing, but whenever the objective's up, AFK is just, they have their target set and they just execute every single time.
This is really the first time that AFK has won 2 fights in a row.
Yeah. Might be 3.
Yeah, and they may continue in here. If we can close the distance here on Gars, he will. Do they have the burst, though? Gars, he's going to have that dash coming back up sooner rather than later. They start stunning him out, and, well, Weaken doesn't look like he's going to have enough. That slow coming out on Ionic, not going to be enough to get a kill here. They're going to pile in nonetheless. Chang'e doing what she can. Sylvanus has been burned as well. They may try to take the Fire Giant off the back of this now as they've taken out the Guardian, but they are really low on mana. They actually really can't.
Yeah.
But they'll get a little bit of icing on top of the cake.
Yeah, I think they're just happy with winning that, right? That's 3 fights in a row, and everything we saw from the spring finals, right? I mean, this team, you wouldn't think about it, but they're highly emotional. I mean, they're very vocal. They're really all behind Weaken, who, you know, he's super BM to his opponents, but, I mean, it encourages them, right? I mean, he gets the team fired up, which is great for them to have this. But it's got to be the Fire Giant, like you said. They have to pile it in, and obviously, you know, their window is still there, but, I mean, it's not like they're going to start it up right now. They still are very low on mana.
Yeah, they really can't take it at this point, even with Ionic dead. They just don't have enough. Incon, he's just waddling around here on the Sylvanus, and he's fairly low level as well. He's behind Geb, actually, so that's always a tough position to be in. He's trying to itemize against the burst, though, as you see that Silver Talisman coming out. He doesn't want to get picked off by the Kraken anymore. Athena's going to have a Magi's Blessing as well, looks like, for the next fight, most likely. That item's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So, and then Chang'e, I mean, is this going to be a Ethereal Staff, maybe a Gem of Isolation even coming out from her?
Yeah, there's no way it's a Warlock Sash. We can write that one off. Yeah, it's 22 minutes into the game. It's a waste, not a waste of an item, but it's just going to be insanely hard for her to get it stacked up. I mean, 100 stacks, it's like 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it just won't be relevant by the time it gets done.
I didn't even think about this because Osiris hasn't really been in the flavor, but Frostbound Hammer on Osiris.
Oh yeah, it's gross.
Just
bunch of HP, attack speed slow, movement speed slow, stacking with his
everything
all
he
of the slows in
loves.
his kit. And yeah, that's what Osiris has done here with his items, right? He's built basically a bunch of very cost-efficient, hybridized defensive mid-game in-hand items, essentially. And yeah, just allows him to have all those extra base stats and that extra attack speed, extra damage, a little bit of extra everywhere. Instead of maybe one big damage item, the Executioner is really the only thing fully oriented that direction. He's able to just be a big nuisance and very resilient in these fights.
Devios spotting out players as AFK trying to push down this mid-tower. 23 minutes in. There's been 19 kills on the board. Keep in mind, this is a set of 2. This will not go to game 3 no matter what. Devios is going to lose his tower. The tether will be on. And now Weaken's going to be here for the follow-up damage. But, I mean, this is a Hercules with a wing blade.
Yeah, the slows aren't going to be very effective. But he does only have that one defensive item. The hybrid item, wing blade, and looks like it'll be another hybrid item as the cudgel's coming out for him. It's really not a very resilient build. Once that Rune Forge is done, sure, but it's still not a true defensive item. And it's all physical itemization, so he's still very susceptible to that magical burst. And if Chang'e can get that Soul Reaver proc on him, it'll hurt a lot.
Yep. Chang'e actually getting poked out here as she's going to get chased. Divios is going to miss the knockup again. Beads come out. Chang'e is still staying alive. Allied's going to be caught in between two tanky gods. Kraken on the backside. Incon manages to knock up the entire team. And the Soul Reaver proc has really done a number to the Ionic as well as Divios. Cyclone Spin's able to take out one. And they're going to keep pushing forward. Allied able to clean up a double kill. This is mid tower guaranteed. And then it's right to the Fire Giant.
Yeah, Cyclone Spin did a ton in that fight. Hit 2 with the Lord of the Afterlife, tethered them as well, and just burned them down with the in-hands. All that attack speed really paying off for him, able to find his targets over and over again with that slow 6-1 and 4 for Cyclone Spin, and he's doing what he does really best. Farms a lot and gets a lot of kills.
This is what we saw out of Allied as well at the beginning of the Season 2 split, right? It was, oh, he's quietly 4-0-9. Mm-hmm. Then instead of like, Spring Finals where it was, oh my god, that was a pentakill. I can't believe he got that.
Yeah, Allied, really the
It was funny because we thought he was such a weak hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, all things told, everyone was kind of like, oh, well, we whenever we say things like, oh, he's a support-based hunter where he's all about the team fight and not individual, we're basically glorifying the fact that he can't box.
Sure, right. Yeah. And I mean, the conversation was just about Snoopy and Barracuda.
Yeah.
Not really so much about Allied, but he has really carved out a position for himself as one of the best hunters in North America. Definitely in that conversation now.
Man.
And with Zapman joining the fray as well here in North America, we'll see just how powerful they are. Madman Mark, Bronx Bombers as well last season. I mean, all very good.
Yeah, they're ballers.
The hunter position is deep in NA.
Yeah. The Bluestone pendant, Divios ended up having to sell off just to really help out with to get this Runeforge online. You can see that he's far behind. I mean, he's 3,000 gold behind. He's only a level. But, I mean, 3,000 gold.
Yeah, considering that the total deficit's like 8K, that he's 3,000 behind, it's just a huge percentage of the overall gap. And the AFK is going to widen that gap a little bit here with yet another Gold Fury. This will be the 4th of the game going their way.
Yeah. And so it continues here. I mean, Fire Giant, they have for another 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They're going to grab the mid-Harpies here, just keep padding this jungle map control stat as we see at the end of the game, but I mean, Snoopy was able to come over, take the tier 1, help out his team, buy a couple pots.
And he's not going to die for it, it looks like, but they're not going to have him available for the first wave here as the mid lane defense gets set up from AFK. Team Solomid going to look to siege just one down. And they should not have a very difficult time of it. Weekend's going to move forward, pop the Magi's, and yeah, now they'll just make the room for Allied to take this tower down nice and easy. Yeah. And away it goes.
And now they will continue to look up here. Incon's going to blink in. He spots Gars. Gars could be in a lot here. There's a lot of CC that can follow it up, but it's not going to hit. Divios now, he's in the middle. He's going to miss the knockup again, and now he is forced to retreat underneath the Phoenix. And that's really been the story, is that, Divios, we always talk about his mechanics and how good he is, but we haven't really seen him hit these knockups that could change the entire game.
Yeah, not this game. He hasn't really performed that well this game. I think you're right there. He didn't win his lane, certainly, and hasn't had the impact maybe you were looking for in the fight.
And he did get camped, to be fair. I mean, yeah, sure. Weekend, that's what Weekend does, though. But they should have been aware of that, as the tier 2 on the left side will fall. AFK, they're in the driver's seat. They want to end this game right here and at least split the series 1-1. That'll be very, very big for them towards the end of summer split. But here it comes. Allied's in the back. He's going to get knocked up. Finally, he's going to manage to stay alive. Beads popped. He's throwing down all of the damage. He's trying to prioritize between the Phoenix and the enemy gods. And, Ionic's done such a good job at body blocking these shots.
Yeah, but Ionic missed his Cataclysm there. They really needed that Cataclysm into the Poseidon Kraken setup. Chang'e Ultimate did a lot in that fight there, as you saw.
2.
Allowed Allied to move forward. Now it's a Desperation Kraken. The wipe as well. The triple kill for Allied. He'll take the Phoenix, and they'll take the Titan here as well. So I will be correct again in my prediction. It's a 50-50 split, AFK and Team Solo mid. AFK will make the adjustments.
There's only one thing that I've learned, is I'm going to wait for you to pick, and then I'm gonna copy.
As everyone should.
Yeah, you're the cornucopia of picks.
I am.
I'm proud of you. AFK. I think this is really going to shape up for a little bit of a rivalry between these two teams.
Yeah,
which,
I think so.
Like the Cloud9 TSM one was kind of more of a, we're friends.
Yeah,
this one's
friendly rivalry.
This one, we could actually see a true rivalry where both teams kind of have an opinion of one another.
I don't think, not bad blood, but certainly a lot of tension.
Yeah, exactly.
between the teams.
Yeah. Obviously, these guys have great sportsmanship, but I think definitely like they're going to look to just go at it.
Butt
every
heads,
time. Yeah,
if you will.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the first blood here in this game number 2 between AFK and TSM. It was the Chonga on the mid. She was everywhere. Surprisingly enough, we saw the double starter come out of her. And the Waxing Moon, I'm sure DM is very, very happy that his Chonga was played on his wedding day.
Yeah, I know. What a gift from Kiki.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was that Waxing Moon set up the kill. Poseidon's Kraken did hit, but they didn't get the kill credit for the first blood onto Incon until just after that first blood did come out for AFK. So, and they just took it from there and just ran with it.
I mean, really, this jungle map control should be out of just insane for AFK. Nuts.
Let me summon it. There we go. 48%. No, TSM. They controlled the map, Scott.
TSM controlled the map.
It was nuts, but probably not in the way you were expecting. And it's a 67% mid control.
I mean, I'm looking at 4-for-4 gold series, and I mean, like,
maybe we should weight those in the percentage control here because while they gave up the mid camps more often than not, it's still 4 gold furies and 1 fire giant.
I mean, the gold.
To none. None across.
The gold alone. I mean, that's $6,000 in gold just from gold furies. Yeah. And that's huge. I mean, TSM, that means that TSM, just looking at this, it's like, oh, they didn't contest anything. Right. Yeah, they just got controlled. They just lost fights, and AFK capitalized over and over again. But, God.
I can't take it. I can't shake it. No.
You got me. The mid Harpies, this is what TSM prioritizes.
Yeah.
And they were clearly in the spots to always do it.
They did their thing, and they still didn't win.
Yeah. But what's weird to me is that towards the end, it was all AFK. That means that TSM completely dominated the mid Harpies early on.
But our player of this game is the one and only Allied Senpai on the Xbalanque, that triple kill at the end.
David Hance.
Patting his stats up nice, but it's the 11 assists as well coming at Xbalanque, and it's the 2 early kills, that he got that really, and that was the Chonga ultimate that really, I think, broke this game open right there. But yeah, Allied getting those 2 kills early on, the bonus 10 power for Xbalanque helped him move into a very aggressive late game position, and you can see able to just, like a hot knife through butter.
the reels. This is the part that I want everyone to see here. This is why Allied's excelling, because he just waits all the way in the back. I mean, you have this like hyper protect composition that AFK runs, so Allied is able to stay so far back in the line that he has like 3 people in front of him at all times, and then he just comes straight in. Yeah, absolutely. His positioning has been very good. Yeah. It's great. And I do believe we have one of the members of AFK joining us on the line, Mr. Weekend.
Oh, what's up?
How are you, buddy?
Mr.
I'm good, man.
Mr. Kurt.
Yeah.
Kurt. All right, Weekend. So, you guys win the spring finals. Coming into the summer split, what has your practice regimen been like? Since we see a lot of teams who are able to win, and then, they kind of slack off a little bit. Has that been the case for you guys, or have you guys been playing a lot?
Honestly, right when we got back, we kept up with practice because Eager had their qualifiers, so we kind of wanted to help them out. But this last week was really slacked off. We've been dealing with getting ready for Brazil and then just kind of taking a break. So this is kind of like our warm-up just for the rest of the season.
Cool. Awesome. So here's my question. Bart and I, it's impossible to predict what the hell you guys are going to pick in God's Select Screen.
Sure.
It's just a nightmare. The Arachne. Why do you keep coming back to Arachne when it doesn't seem to be that impactful? Is it working in scrims versus Eager?
Oh, honestly, I mean, yeah, it works, but we made really poor decisions early when we should have played for the late game, considering we had 2 really strong hunters. Mm-hmm. So if we had played for the late game, it would have been different. We just misplayed. It was kind of like I said, a warm-up game. Everyone's getting awake, and stuff happens.
So looking forward to this next game weekend. It's Eager versus Enemy.
Ooh.
Do you have your scrim partner Eager taking it out over Enemy, or do you think that they're going to take some games off of the boys from Eager?
Eager's going to win this easily. It's not even going to be a contest.
Not even a contest.
Even without Zapman?
No, even without Zapman.
Wow.
Oh wow. So with Kabam even there, so.
Yeah, I mean, we played against them, and I have faith in my team.
Okay. All right. Yeah, look at that. We're seeing the bonds happening. All right, Weekend. Before I let you go, shout outs, comments, questions. Shoot him.
Just shout outs to Allied. He played from a hotel room on a bed on a laptop and just did what he did. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Gotta love him.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you very much, Weekend. Guys, that is not going to do it for our broadcast, though. We will be going into Enemy Esports versus Eager. Bart, before we hop to a break, I want your prediction.
My prediction for who wins this one?
I didn't see the graph. I'm assuming you went eager.
I got eager in 2, yeah.
Oh.
Eager with both games.
Well, guys, if there's anything we've learned, you have probably about 10 minutes to get your season ticket picks in.
And pick what I pick.
Vote eager. Yeah, just
the
do
right way to do
exactly
it.
what Bart does. But we'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you guys very much. Stay tuned.
Turn me into believer. Set my heart on fire. Never knew it could happen so fast. I swear I never saw it coming. I find it hard to let go. I'm so